I see the warm weather didn't keep everyone away. A couple of quick announcements before we start. We have a need in the lab. If you have older computers that you're going to recycle, I know you can recycle them through the village in various ways and things, but if you want to bring those older computers, now I don't mean, not back to the 40s or, but within a reasonable period of time, if you're going to recycle a computer, if you bring it into the lab, we'll recycle it. We have a little bit of a shortage on parts, and we would pull parts. I would pull memory and a few things out, so that would be very helpful. The other announcement I wanted to make is, I'm sure many of you have seen this, but just to reiterate it, the latest scam going around is a message from your friendly tollway people. Either Illinois Tollway or Easy Pass is sending, someone is sending messages out asking you to do things as basically a fishing expedition. If you have any messages from Illinois Tollway or something, which they do send legitimate messages out from time to time, simply go to your account site because they'll have the information on that, and then you're going to the right site and you're dealing with the proper information. The other announcement I wanted to make is for all those who are board members of the computer club, we'd like to have a very brief meeting up here right after the meeting today. Won't be more than 5 minutes, just to sort a couple things out. And so if you could join us, I'd really appreciate that. So with that, I'm sure you're all used to this agenda. But at any rate, going through things, our financial report, again, we're very solvent. I'm very proud of the fact that we continue to support the Grafton Food Pantry, and we are in the process of looking at spending some of that money on equipment, but we're still sorting a few things out at this point. This is a record membership of 1,707 people. Now, we've had a little higher membership level last year, but that was in June. So we're like 3 or 4 months ahead of last year in terms of membership. And again, that really represents a lot of repairs for computers that are not doing too well. It's also probably we owe a great debt of gratitude to Bill Gates for creating Windows 8.1. That's also generated some traffic in the lab. But at any rate, we have 1,707 members. Classes beginning in March, we're going to have a class on eBay, we're going to have a class on navigating the CAM website, and a class on Microsoft Word, which is a 3-session class. Also was asked to make an announcement. Last Wednesday we had a class on Microsoft Photo Gallery, and I think we probably violated, Bonnie, you didn't hear this, the fire regulations because we stuffed chairs in there, and we still turned, I think, 6 or 8 people away. So Ralph has rescheduled a class on April 21 of that. It'll be announced, but if you missed that class on Wednesday or you were turned away, there will be another class on that. Again, the computer, this is good news. We are going to have $5 early renewals again this year. That's about the 3rd or 4th year we've been at $5. And so, every year we have some people come in on July 1. And I'm very disappointed when we have to say, no, it's $25 on July 1. So think a little ahead, plan on it. Come into the lab or at the next meeting in April. You can renew your dues. If you do renew your dues, or if you're going to renew your dues on the early renewal, please don't bring checks. It's not that we don't trust you. It's just at $5, it's so much easier for Howard to handle the cash and make the deposit. So if you're going to renew your membership, again, it's $5 per household, and that membership renewal period begins on April 1, so it's April, May, and June. It ends, and it's very ironic that we have a lab session on June 30th. And it's, that's it. That's the last day. But I mean, I had several people last year say, well, you didn't have a lab session on June 30th. Well, no, but we had a lab session on the 29th that you could have made, you know. So at any rate, we really would like to make sure that everybody partakes in that. Monthly newsletter. Again, we're always asking for help on this. Send your information to Jim Nelson. And I think the newsletter has been the comments I've heard have been very good. Everybody seems to be very happy with the newsletter, and we're very happy that everyone else is very happy. So, okay, Board of Directors meeting March 18, and COW meeting April 1 in the solarium. Both of those are open to all of the residents, so you're entitled to go to any one of those meetings. Yes, Bonnie?
But there's going to be executive session in the morning, so watch your April 1st.
Okay, that may be 1 o'clock then instead of.
Have them watch because we.
Okay, if you watch your blurb things that come out from CAM, that may change to 1 o'clock from 9 o'clock for the COW meeting only.
Right.
Okay. Community census. This is a very important thing, and I was asked to talk about this from the President's Council. There's a lot of misunderstandings of this going around and a lot of comments back and forth. Please talk to your neighbors. Please partake yourself. This is very important for the community. It's a legal requirement that that we as a community can substantiate the fact that we're meeting the percentage requirements of the law to qualify as a over 55 community. Someone has asked, well, what if we don't qualify? Well, the main thing we don't qualify is there are going to be a lot of people of all ages. This is going to be a community like any other community, and that presents a lot of problems in terms of our programs, in terms of the way we treat a lot of the issues in the community that are geared at our age group. So it's very important when this comes out that you participate, and I really ask you to talk to your neighbors. If this comes up in a question, please reinforce participation in this because it is very important. We had as you all know, Jim Pete passed away, leaving a vacancy in the board. The board solicited applications, and there were 4 qualified candidates who applied for the position. The board made a decision and has selected Ken Anderson to fill that vacancy. Community matters. The Sun City Band will have a concert coming up with the high school band. They do this every year, and it supports a scholarship program. It's free. It's over at the Huntley High School. It's going to have a free will offering. I've often said that free will offerings raise more money than selling tickets, but it's there, and I'm sure that it'll be an enjoyable day, an enjoyable program. Also, the Civics Committee is sponsoring a candidate forum for village trustee candidates, and this is a little unusual. We usually have these in the evening, but this one's going to be at 9:30 a.m. here in Crandall Hall. Now, I know a lot of you probably think that the important decisions are made in Washington, or not made in Washington, as the case might be, but nonetheless, you have to keep in mind the things that affect you on a one-on-one, day-by-day basis are your local elected officials. They're the ones that decide whether you get a stop sign on the corner to protect you from getting run over. They're the ones that have the day-to-day influence on your life. So it's very important to vote intelligently on local elections. I know we don't get a big turnout for local elections. I know a lot of people don't really consider it important. But really, if you think about it, these are the people that affect you on a day-to-day basis. And so I really encourage you to come out and hear what the candidates have to say and for that discussion. Also, I don't know when McHenry County early voting is. Kane County early voting will be Tuesday, March 31 and conclude on April 2nd. That will be right out here in the lounge. Also, we mentioned this before, that we now have a recycling program. You'll notice there are recycling bins in all of the rooms, both in Meadowview and here at Prairie Lodge. Again, please read what goes in what bin. It's important to get the right things in the right bin. Okay, with that in mind, I'd like to turn this over to Frank, and Frank is going to talk to you about what's new in Picasa.
Okay, we got our technical problem solved, I think, here. So, how many are users of Picasa here today? Okay. How many are anybody doing any organization outside of Picasa with their film? 2, 3, 4.
Can't hear you. Lost the audio.
Oh, I have to. No, I have to push the button. Okay, does that make it better? Okay. Okay, so before you get into Picasa, I want to talk a little bit about a device that it can work as a presentation device for your Picasa slides. We're still having some problems with wires up here. That will work better. Okay. How many of you have heard or have had the opportunity to buy one and have played with it, called a Chromecast device? We got 1 Chromecast, 2 Chromecast people in here. Well, we got the right crowd. We got to tell you about it. So this Chromecast device is small. You can see it in the back. You might not even see them holding anything up. This is a computer, a Wi-Fi adapter, and a video presentation device, all in one little package like that. So it really goes to show you where we're going in the future. This has a computer inside, a pretty high performance computer that can talk to your laptop, your tablet, or your PC. Plus, it also talks to your TV. And it also talks to your router in the house. So with that, we'll take a little look at it. There it shows you what you get. You get, in the box, you get a power supply. It plugs in at the end. And you get a little extension adapter that you can, if this thing doesn't fit in the back of your TV because it's a little bit too wide, you can use the adapter. This is an HDMI plug that goes in the back of your TV, and it will take another input, TV input. So with that, we got a little video here we can watch.
Yeah, Rivers here with some cool tech, and today we're going to take a quick look at the Google Chromecast. This is a super inexpensive way to get whatever's on your phone or tablet onto your big screen TV. And it works so well, I think that you really must have it, even if you already have a media player like a Blu-ray player, Android media player, or Apple TV. So all it is a little stick with an HDMI plug on one side and a power plug on the other side. Nothing else, no buttons, no antenna, nothing. To hook it up, just plug the Chromecast into a free HDMI port on your HD TV and connect power. A lot of TVs, like this one, have a USB port on the back, so you can use that to power the Chromecast. If not, there's an included AC adapter as well. To connect your smartphone or tablet to the Chromecast, just install the Chromecast software and follow a few simple steps and you're ready to go. When Chromecast first started, there were only about 8 or 9 apps that worked with it. Big name apps like YouTube and Netflix worked great on there, but most other apps didn't support Chromecast. Now there are well over 300 apps that support Chromecast. Here you can see a list of some of the most popular ones. And if an app you want is not supported, Google recently introduced screencasting to the Chromecast. This mirrors the screen of your phone to the TV. So now you can watch just about any app on your big screen TV. This does use more battery on your phone, but it's still the best Mirrorcast I've used so far. And now we come to my favorite part, which is watching videos, and especially YouTube videos, using the YouTube app on a smartphone. All you have to do is choose the little box at the top that says Chromecast, and then each video you play will be set to your TV. Once the first video is playing, each one will be queued behind it. You can choose a video from your queue by tapping TV queue, scrolling down to the video you want, tap that video, and it will be playing on your TV in a few seconds. I like this because it's nice and fast, and you can search for more videos while you're playing a previous video. It's pretty much the easiest way to watch YouTube like a TV channel. In fact, it's probably the most user-friendly way I found to watch YouTube on a big screen TV so far. And on top of that, it's really, really inexpensive. I'll add a link in the video description down below to the best price on the Chromecast. Also, did I mention that during each video I can pause at any time I want, slide to any point in the video I choose, or I can just skip the entire video. Video works great on the Chromecast with lots of other apps like Netflix and one of my favorite apps, Plex. Plex lets you stream videos from your computer in the other room to the Chromecast. It works on all types of video formats including MPEG, MKV, and even ISO. Plex can even change the bitrate of video so it can stream more easily over slow Wi-Fi connections. So again, when you start the app, you just click the box at the top of the screen and choose your Chromecast. Then you go to play your videos and they appear on your TV screen. So in Plex, I've got some home video here, and it's going to play off of my computer in the other room, stream to the Chromecast, and play back on the screen, and I'm controlling it from my phone. Now my phone becomes like a remote for the video. I can pause and resume the video. I can skip forward 30 seconds, I can skip backward 30 seconds, or I can slide the slider up to any point in the video I want. Okay, one more cool thing about the Chromecast is that it works with a bunch of different apps on Apple devices as well. It's got YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, and Plex is on there too. To use the Chromecast on iOS devices, just install the Chromecast app. Then in the app that you're trying to use, hit the little icon on the top and select your Chromecast. So here I've got an iPad Air connected to the Chromecast, and we'll go into YouTube, and we can do it just like we did on the Android phone. Pick the videos you want, they'll add to the queue, and they'll play on your big screen TV. I still recommend getting a separate media box like an Android media player for your TV because they can handle just about any app you throw at them. But I also highly recommend getting a Chromecast because it's so inexpensive and it's so good at getting content from big name apps to your TV. And also the screen mirroring is very good. I'll add links to the Chromecast as well as all the software you saw in the video in the description down below. Also be sure and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching.
Okay. Now, how much does this cost? Anybody have an idea? $35 is what the list of suggested price is. So it's one of those toys you can buy that you can really afford and it works well. We can also provide some support to the people who get one and are trying to get their presentations like from a slideshow that you made from Picasa to play on your TV. It works very well. So with that, we'll go into Picasa, but before we do that, we have to introduce you to our pack rat. He's out there on the screen with my wife. She adopted him out there. So let's see what the pack rat has to say. You've seen this before, but it's a real important thing to do it.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Kathy Packrat. We're from Utah, you know. I know there's a few of you out there. Maybe some of you are out there. You know, we pack rats are nocturnal. And I've come around, and I admit I sneak around at night. And I look into your garages. Ooh, oh my goodness, the boxes out there. You know, yeah, photos. And you know, you all have to just come in, and we'll show you how to change your ways. It's time to stop being a pack rat if you get my drift. And remember, scan and throw out.
That's so important. Get rid of them. All that excess stuff you have is laying in there. You can put them on the scanner, and it will make fantastic digital images of those pictures. And how many people have used it? Raise your hand. Got about, not too bad. I thought we had a few more of it. They're not here tonight, but we've used quite a few of it. Here's a little video that shows a little bit more.
New picture saver scanning systems from Kodak are here. They deliver a host of value-added features, benefits, and exciting possibilities. And they offer an innovative way to scan hundreds, even thousands of your customers' pictures, postcards, and other memorabilia and turn them into digital files. There's a productive Kodak photo scanner ready to meet your volume needs. Quickly and easily scan up to 50 photos per minute with the PS50 scanner, or as many as 85 photos per minute with the PS80. Or let your patrons or customers do self-service scanning with the PS55 system, a great choice for non-retail organizations. These high-volume photo scanning systems from Kodak are ideal for photo retailers, funeral homes, libraries, preservationist organizations, and cultural institutions, to name just a few. Customers' memories are safeguarded thanks to the gentle photo transport module that treats each picture with special care. You can even scan photo album pages and have each image saved as a separate file with the Kodak Photo Selector accessory and optional Kodak flatbed. Plus, there's no need to remove old or fragile photos from photo albums, which could damage older prints that depict precious memories. Kodak Picture Saver scanning systems can automatically restore and even improve the image quality of original photos. Deliver JPEG files on a DVD, CD, or portable USB drive. Burn images to Kodak Picture CDs to provide your customers with a slideshow of their photos, plus an easy link to upload digital images to online galleries. If you're a photo retailer, get ready for volume photo scanning made fast and easy for great profit potential. For libraries, funeral homes, and other non-retail locations, you can now serve your patrons and customers in new ways by offering photo scanning that preserves their memories. It all happens with the Kodak Picture Saver scanning systems PS50, PS55, and PS80, plus the optional Kodak Photo Selector accessory and flatbed scanners. Visit us on the web to learn more.
That scanner is approximately $1,800. So it gives, our club has purchased it, and it really made the difference between our old scanner with similar nature than this one, but it really does an excellent job. No more streaking, no more problems with marks on the pictures that look not so good. There's nothing, and you can scan 4x6 pictures at about 50 a minute. So you can get 1,000 pictures at least done in an hour and a half, 2 hours, if not more. So collect your pictures and bring them in. Now let's take a look at the camera aspect of, you're going to have some settings on the camera are more important. We've talked about this before, but it's very important, and we think repeating works well for our groups. We want to be sure that your camera is set for the maximum pixel size that the camera is capable of storing. You know, the camera is advertised as a 17 meg camera or 10 meg or 7 meg. We want the pictures to be at the maximum. In some place in the instructions, there's a setting that says so many pixels by so many pixels, and it's on the top. Pick the top one, it's usually the best solution. Another thing is you want to be sure the date is set correctly on the camera. Picasa and some of the other programs also will sort your pictures by the date they were taken. And if you have the date off, the pictures will be in some other location and it won't be showing up correctly. Another thing is always turn off the feature that shows the date on a picture unless you have some real particular need for it. And you normally don't need it turned on because every picture you take with a digital camera will have the date embedded in the file. So you always can see the date. So I'll show you that in a second here. So those things, if you make that list and do it, you'll have a lot better pictures. You'll have big pictures that you can crop in and you make them into better pictures. So that's the key there. So let's go on. This is let's talk about editing. And we go out and look at Picasa a little bit. Get that message one time, we want to get that. There's Picasa. This is a screen that you get, and this is the main screen that pops up and it shows all your files on this side and whatever directory you were in the last will show up when you come into Picasa. So these are pictures that we could make better. Let's just try that picture and see if we can make it better. We know we can crop it, so let's crop it. We just hit the crop button. And we take one of the pictures, we can change this little icon here that says what size you want to have the picture. So let's go 3x4. That's the standard old size TV and most likely a good resolution to use on pictures that are going on a frame. So now you draw a box around a picture, you just move it, and you click in the center of it, and you can move the frame around any place you want. So now we say, that is better than what we had before. We hit apply, and that is it. No saving, no nothing. So Picasa is its own worst enemy in that it doesn't really explain that to you. It has to, you have to understand that Picasa is different than any other photo application, and it stores that change of that picture in a file that's not in your pictures. It doesn't change your picture, so your picture stays the way it was on your computer until you save it, or until you decide you're going to use it someplace else. If you're going to use this picture any place other than Picasa, you have to save it. If you don't, you'll have the old picture out there. All it saves on it is a small little text file that says I cropped it, and it gives the coordinates where I cropped it. Everything works that way. Picasa won't regenerate another JPEG folder, another JPEG picture with the image reduced. And by doing that, you don't get a lot of compression built in, because every time you save the picture, it recompresses it. So you'll get a lot sharper pictures with the system than some of the other systems when you make a lot of changes to it, because that picture is not stored, and there's no reason to store the picture, copy it, unless you're going to use it outside of Picasa. So that questions on that are easily discussed in our lab. Anybody has any questions, come on in on that. So that just shows you how easy it is and how much a picture can be made better by cropping it. I almost will say that every picture could be cropped and it will be better. And that's why we want the big picture taken at the maximum resolution so that you can crop in a section. So here's just a few pictures that we talked about last year when we talked about this, and we'll talk about. These are pictures that were cropped, and I don't have all, you got in close. I'd have to be sitting out here in the rocks someplace, right there in a hole, to get that picture. And of course, I'm way back, and I just cropped it, and I set it up so that it gives a widescreen format. That widescreen format is what you could do when you take the picture. You'd set it for widescreen, but widescreen reduces the picture. It determines what percentage of sky and what percentage of the foreground you have in there. If you have a full picture, you can determine what you get. So it makes it, this again, these are close-ups. Moved in closer, a lot closer than, this is really confined, and it's just looking at that Route 66 museum, and I got my motorhome right in there. So it makes them a lot better pictures when you look at them. Now that one is out in Hoover Dam, and a new bridge they put in. If you haven't been out there, it's quite impressive. And that one, I say, I did not do nothing. That squirrel came up right in that location. Believe me, it's true. There he is, crawling up. It was a walkway. He crawled up, and the background was just absolutely beautiful. This is another example of a little bit more than cropping. This is deception. That sign that says, let's see here, we get this little video here. That has been added. That has been added to the site with Picasa. That was on the sign when I took it. So, did it made the picture by changing a few words on there. So that was I think, and it also it makes the picture. It's a full shot. It's got your feet, and it's low. The camera was on a lot of the state parks now have spots where you can set your camera. Some are marked with a little circle, a little metal disc on top of a post. Set your camera on there, walk back, clunk, takes your self timer, you set it for 10 seconds. That's it. But they're usually low and they look weird. What is that out there for? That's what they're for. They even thought that it was making a better picture having it low like that. So again, this picture's cropped and titled. I then was able to take the color from the text. I was able to use a picking tool and pick that color and say, use it for this. And that's how I got the colors to match so closely that you wouldn't know that if I didn't tell you that this was a phony. That was picked off of, like, I most likely picked it off the A. And I put the cursor over the A and said, use that color for the text. And that took a whole 20 seconds, 10 seconds to do. This is a hard subject. You can, but we fortunately got the key, the car, down in the bottom. Gives some scale to that. You don't realize that is a redwood tree that's 500 feet, 400 feet high. But we figure that it's about 7 feet, 6.5 feet to the top of the roof. And just chalk up there, you can see how high that tree is. That again is a crop picture. It's a hard subject matter to get a picture of a tree like this. But you can do it. This is another one that I cropped. This is out the window of the car. And I decided it would look pretty good if it was in full HD format, full screen. So I cropped it as an HD size picture, went in closer to the streetcar, and I think it really is really shows that area of the country off very well. These are some lucky shots of jellyfish out in California at a museum. It had a glass retainer. These are the size of about a Coke can, coffee cup size jellyfish. But again, they're cropped in, made big, and they look good. There's another cropped in picture. This is a cheap camera. This is not an expensive camera. It was a $89 camera of our little sea otters out there. And again, this picture was not taken in this format. It was cropped into the widescreen format. I had more mountains and more foreground, so I cropped in on the foreground here with the flowers and got everything else. So all these pictures, here you can see seals out in California here. You can see the area where I'm going to show it. This area here, where I got the little dotted lines in there. And then that was the whole picture, and I went and cropped in. And you can't really tell that was that much cropping. The seals, their skin doesn't look very good at this time of year. So this one is another one that really looks good as a widescreen. This is up in Canada. Somebody had a motorhome on a campground site. That drop off out there is about 200 feet down. And they're parked within 8 feet of that drop off. It's a cool, I mean, if you were a camper, you'd die for a spot like that. It is a beautiful spot, and it was a nice day. So I thought that really made a good picture, and the two people were sitting out there too. Again, this is another cropped picture. It wasn't quite that close in. So you remember, the cropping is the best feature of any program you can use. No matter what program you use, if you crop your pictures, you will make them better. This is another example of a low shot. There was a rock or something. I set the camera on down this way, but I was, way down. Took it at a full resolution, was able to crop it in, put my feet right at the bottom. So, and again, cropped it for widescreen. It really makes the picture stand out. There's the old food plates at the restaurant. That's, I guess, the number of pictures taken of the restaurant food is now fantastically high. Everybody takes the picture with the camera today of their food plates. So I did. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I never thought of it. This is up in Maine, a lobster. And this is a selfie. And in selfie, you usually get the arm or shoulder or something in there. Cut it out. It made it even better. Then we talked about this last year about getting free fluff art to put on collage pictures. Where do you get it? It's simple. You go to the store that sells T-shirts, and you take pictures, and you get all kinds of cheap art. You crop it, let's hang that up there. Let's see how that looks. I'll hang it up on a rack. Put it back. And all these pictures. I didn't buy any of these T-shirts. I got some other ones, but like that Canada one, that works out real good. You put that in a corner of a scene. It really ties you into the location. These are all And some of the art is really good, you know, like this one here is clever. That one I just was in a store window. I thought it was funny. Gotta look at it a little bit. It's a cow. This is a good one too. That'll get a laugh no matter how many times you see it. And this one will too. That one takes a little longer. You gotta look at all the details. But you can see, some you get really good, some you don't get that good. You get a little blur, but even the blurs aren't that bad. Sometimes they add interest to it. This is another one that you might not know. Every state national park, whether it's a national park, historical site, whatever they call it, the other things they have, a national seashore, at the visitor center they'll have a stamp just like this, and it'll say where they're at, the date. And the idea is they sell a passport book and you can stamp it in there. But anybody can walk up there and stamp it on a piece of paper and walk away and take the impression, and then you just take a picture. All the new cameras will zoom in on a quarter size, and you can crop the little extras you get around it, and you get a date when you're there. So that could go on a picture, or at least as a gentle reminder. Or you could put it in the beginning of an album group of pictures taken at this location. Here's one we did. I seen outside of that state park in Florida. They had this wooden sign out there at Christmas time, and it was 2 wooden panels, about 4 by 6 foot, and they had them set like just like you see them. It was a little washed out, a little dirt, rain. There was a line down the middle. So I just said, well, maybe I can straighten that out in Picasa. So I did. It maybe took 10 minutes. No more line, no more dirt. I played with contrast. I did some touching up where that crack went through. I took off the time. I used it for my Christmas card. I figured if they put it outside in the rain, they didn't have too much copyrights on that. So I think that is a real example of what you can do. This was not a long process, though. It could be done in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if you really were good. If you did it once, you could go back and do it in 5 minutes. So. And the other thing is take your camera with you, because you never know when you're going to find an opportunity. And this is one I showed before, but it's Orion in 1964 down there. He was a young guy too, just like I was. So this was a picture up at the State Fair in McHenry. They had all the winners from the beauty contest they had up there, and snapped that picture, recropped out of it everything that was Exeter, and you got all the details. So let's see. Okay, let's talk about red eye. Red eye is maybe it's going down because all the programs have some way of fixing it, but when you get red eye like that, you have to fix it. Now, in Picasa, you'll get when you go on, you click on a red eye up there. Let's see, where we get the button. You click on that, and you'll get you'll get this picture with a box around the eyes. It will find the eyes by itself. Don't ask me how, but it always finds the eyes. Puts a box around them and changes the eye. So the next picture, we'll get the results. And basically, all you do is click the box. It says fix red eye, and it does it automatically. And it usually, I'd say 99.99, 2 nines after the decimal point, it'll be perfect. And there could be 7, 8 people in the picture that had red eye. And maybe one eye only has red eye in one of them, and they'll still figure it out. Most of the time, it will do it correctly. Now, if it doesn't, you just draw with your mouse a box around the offending red eye that it didn't find, and when you say apply, it's fixed. So that is a no-brainer. We shouldn't see any red eye in anybody's pictures. Collages and text. Let me show you a picture. We've seen this one before, but it represents a investment of about 30 seconds. All I typed in is Sun City Computer Club and the date. That's about it. Everything else was developed by the computer. It made the location. And I think I picked the dog picture from another location and dragged it to the center. And that picture that wasn't in that center box went down to the other box, and the dog pops out of there. It's all done. Now, only thing you have to remember is about text on collages. You cannot put text in a collage. You have to make the collage, then go and add the text. So we'll show you that in a second here. We got, I think, one other one, yeah. Another type of collage. Now, a collage is a real good way of making something that you're going to show as a slideshow, but you had a lot of pictures. You might have 300, 500 pictures, and you got all the, let's say you went on a trip out east and you found a whole bunch of doors that were painted interestingly. Their doors were unique. You took pictures. Well, the door pictures are maybe your interest, but they will make a very good collage picture. And you could have all the doors on a picture and show them. And it would be a very interesting picture. That if you had 10 slides or 20 slides of doors going by, it wouldn't look that good. So these are other ways of collages. Title slides or subject of an area. These I made them when I was on a trip. I sent these back to people back here where we were. And it was like a week event. And I think they really, you could tell we're in Vegas and we're out in the West, and we were at the dam there. And so you get a feel of where you were very quickly. So don't miss the opportunity. There's a t-shirt art in some of these. Some more t-shirts. These were slides that I made for a presentation of camp outings. This is I made for a newsletter that I sent out at Christmas time. I put a Christmas greeting in that thing. I got my 2 Christmas, got green border on it, make it Christmas, and my 2 little mistletoe things hanging in the corners. Then I turned it on the back too. So there was a little story in here that continued on the back page, which didn't have any pictures on it. Now this is another way of doing collages that you can use Picasa for a whole bunch of applications that you don't really think of. And this is one. I put a piece of art that I got off the internet and I cropped it. Shows a campground and it shows how to make reservations. I put that on a page, and then I made over here is a separate image. There's 2 images on this page, that one and that one, and I left some white space on the top. I went back and I put it on. So let's just show you a little bit about how you do that. if we go to the next one, I think, and do that over here. I got my magic. So let's say we're going to make a collage out of a few of these pictures. Let's just take that one, and we'll take this row. We'll do this very scientifically, and I'll press Control and hit Shift and hit this here. Now I selected that group of pictures that are on the bottom, and I can go down on the bottom here and go to Collage tool, which is there. And this is live. There's our 6 pictures. Now, with Picasa, you have 6 different collages. This is the first one. It's called Picture Pile. These pictures are all grabbable, all movable. You can lay it out. You can spend hours figuring out what's the perfect layout. But you don't have to spend hours. You can go to one of the other ones that is predetermined. Now we can say which picture we would, let's say we like the, this is going to be hard here. Who am I going to cut? I hope they're not here. So let's say we want to move her over to there. And that's as simple as we're going to go with it. It looks pretty good, the rest of it. If I want to put their names on, I would say create collage. And it's drafting, it's done. It'll be done in a second when that box goes away. Now, when it's done, we can use the text tool and put whatever we want on here. Now, I gave somebody the name Mary. I don't know if that's the right name, but we could make that bigger, turn it. We can move it by clicking on the inside of that right here. That's it. Move. I can rotate it, and I can drag it over. We'll call him Mary. And if I want that color of the text to be the color of her dress, I can go over here and say text color and take my mouse over here and grab that little dot. So this is the clever, that's what I did on that original slide of the temperature in Death Valley. I took that little tool, where it's pointing on our dress, and made the text that color. So you can go crazy with this. You can do it all kinds of things, and you can put more than, every time you get done, you can put more text. When you're happy with that, you just click on it, and it will go over here. You say apply, and I had the cursor up on her head. I'm going to say, oh, I don't want that. I got to go back over here, go and correct that. So I can go back, get the tool, and go over here, get the color red, and go back over here and say apply. So you get the idea. So it's a 2-step process. You put the text on, you leave white space if you want to, or you don't. You just go over, superimpose it. You can, once you get that on there, it will print on the pictures. It will do everything. You can save it. It will always be on that photograph there. You can also, if it's in Picasa, you can remove it and spend some more time at the text. You'll find that the text tool and the collage tool are the two things that don't are not difficult, but your mind is always working at 2 steps ahead of what you do. You're always looking for a better solution. It makes it harder to do. So just don't get too fussy. Just go and put the text on there and make it go. If you want to do something fancy, do it on 1 or 2 spots, but not on every picture. Like the colors. You could pick the colors off that first wheel and you wouldn't have to go through all that trouble. Okay, so let's look at, that's collage and text. So we got that. If I go here, click on exit, it should come back to Picasa, come back to PowerPoint. Now movies are another thing that Picasa will do. It will take a movie in, it will make slideshows into movies, and it will take movies in, and you can edit the beginning and the end. You can split them, but that's a little harder. Mostly, you can take clips from your camera that takes videos and shorten them when you got the picture of your feet because you didn't turn the camera off. You know, we all done that. And you're walking with the camera swinging on its little chain, and you got 30 seconds of good video, and then 3 minutes of this swinging. Well, you can cut that stuff all out and do it simply. But this little movie here is my darling wife when she was 2 years old. This is pretty cool. 1946 is when it was taken in color. So it pays to look at those old movies. You'd never realize that you'd have a color movie from 1946. So let's take a look at that. I didn't show you the whole thing because I don't think you'd really find it that good. But I did. So it's that film was found in a bunch of films we had, and it was the only one that was color in that vintage. So that was, if you see the whole film, it's about 3-4 minute, 50-foot strip. It had no shake. It was all done on a tripod. Bright sun was the perfect conditions. Because that mostly had an ASA at 15 or something like that at the time. The guys that know, it must have been really expensive at that time too, to get a color picture in that period of time frame. So we have, let's see, backup. How to back up the pictures that you always take and you never do. Because don't forget, that computer will die someday, and someday could be today. So the advantage of using Picasa backup, it will take any other files. Picasa got better at this now. All files that are used in Picasa, there's only one file in a directory that is important, and it is the Picasa, and it's a hidden file. So you won't even, most of you people have your, by default, Windows comes with, doesn't matter which version you had, it comes with all of the hidden files are turned off, so you can't see them. So you got to turn them on. Well, if you want to know how to do it, come in the lab. It's not difficult, but it requires you to do it one time only, and then from then on you'll see them. So it will take the 2 files that you need for Picasa and back them up, and everything will work when you get done. You put a new computer, run the program, it puts all the folders back in, everything's back the way it should be. So let's show you. So you can go home and do it. Go back into our magic button there, and we'll go up to Tools. I think it's under Tools. Backup Pictures. Click on that. You'll get this screen. And all you gotta do, it's sort of not as good as it could be. It doesn't make it clear enough that you have to give it a new name. So on this screen here, you'll get, well, let's go down here, that one tab, you click on it, and you'll get a place to type in a new name. I just put backup and a date. And then it says over here, select all your pictures. So you don't have to worry about that, this one here, select all. So click on select all first, and it'll put check marks in all these boxes here if you want to back them all up. In most cases, I would suggest that that's what you do. It also tells you right here, and that's going to be hard for you guys to see, but it says 3 files. Right now, I only have one. I don't have anything. So if I click on, oh, I can't on that slide. So I'll go in and go, oh yes, I can. If I click on select all, that number changes. It says 8 folders, 201 files, 204 meg, 1 CD, one DVD, it'll all fit on there. At home I got 2,000 pictures or 3,000, and it'll be like 8 CDs. So when you do that and you click on this one, we'll do that now. That's what your next step would be after you say select all. And this is where it's going to tell where you're going to put the name of the file you're going to store it, if you're going to do it to and this is where you put in backup in today's date. And you get a choice here of a CD or DVD backup or a disc to disc. Now if you had a backup disc, you put its letter in there, it'll work there. And you could say here, I would just leave this always at that, all file types. Normally that's not necessary. And that's it. And then it'll tell you how many CDs and DVDs you need to have available. And when it gets done with one, it'll say put in the next CD. So that is, and you can check this not in, you know, some people have run, how many have run some kind of backup program and you couldn't read any of the files?
Yeah.
These files you can read, all of them. You can know, you'll know that your film was there. You can go back and look for a picture, it'll be under pictures, and all the folders will be there. Okay, this is a backup. This does not have current pictures. What does that say? But it has all the instructions to make the current picture in that file that I was telling you that they store the information. So, it's good for backup. That's what it's for. I'm going to show you another thing. Gift CDs. So, if you went and looked at the picture that you fixed, you're going to see the original picture on what's stored. But it also has the folder that will fix that picture to your current thing. You don't have to do anything. So it'll cancel out of here. Cancel. We'll get, maybe it's the next one. I will get. This is the power of tags. This is another feature of Picasa which we haven't talked about before. It's a little harder. You got to realize that every picture has this big long list of things that is associated with the photograph, stored in its original file format. It's in the JPEG file of that photograph. Every photograph has this large listing. In there, they have a spot for tags. So you can call a tag is a description of something. It could be a person's name, could be a location, could be a tag that you can find that picture. A dog's name, a dog, just the word dog. All your dogs have the dog in it. So if you want to see all the pictures that you ever taken that had dogs, you just type in dog. In less than a second, you'll have all those pictures. And it could be thousands of pictures it'll find. And they'll be on the screen like now. So this is power. And what's good about it is that it saves that thing immediately into your JPEG file. So if you tag a picture with a tag, and it doesn't have to be one tag, it could be 20 tags that is more descriptive, or more, let's say you got a picture of a family, and you got them all, Ralph, Sue, and everybody's listed in there. You got their initials or their names listed. And Picasa has a way that it remembers, so you don't have to type in everything again. You can use some of the things that you used on the last picture, you get automatically, and you just click it. So when you get them in, it gives all that information is stored immediately in that picture file. It's in that JPEG, and it will stay there. The good part is, if 6 months later you say, I don't know about Picasa, I'm going to try something else, and you go to Windows, what is it, Live Player, no, Gallery, Photo Gallery. You use there, they got a tag too. Our tags work. Tags are part of the picture, so they work. So all that work will work in any program that supports tags for finding pictures. So it's very important that you try tagging. It makes it easy. Let's show you a little bit. If I want to tag that picture, I go down and hit one of these boxes down here. Let's see, I got my mouse, my pointer, trying to show you. See these three things over here? One of them is tagging, and I can't tell you which one's which, but let's open them all. I think that is, that's tagging. So I'm going to put Mary's name in here. It's we'll tag one picture Mary. Now you see that we tag that picture with Mary's name, and they give us this area. You could type in all kinds of you could name all these people. All of them could be listed there. And they could be first and last names. And then we have this box down here. This box will become your favorite tags. If you have a bunch of tags that are favorites that you would use a lot. You could have that one set for me, my wife's name, a trip you're on, and then those would be permanent. These last two down here in the bottom, they could be the last Mary will come in this tag here. Let's see, it's that one and that one are going to be the last two tags you used. So if I had another picture with Mary in, I could just hit that button and it would pop up here and it would tag. So try tagging pictures. It really makes it easy to organize them, and you can find them in instants. So if you want to find that picture, we could get out of this tagging program. And it's not very exciting on this size number of photographs we have. We don't have that many. If I click down here, I can tackles on and off. Yeah. So now we could go back out to the basic library. This is the library view. You got this box over here, and we can type Mary. And lo and behold, before I got the N type, the Y type, it was in there. So it'll find all the pictures that had that tag on there. And when that line is green up there, it will tell you that you're on in this mode. And to get rid of it, you just click on back to the videos. Let's see here, get this thing here. You click on this thing up here. So that's tagging. Give CDs, DVDs. This is a way of giving somebody else your pictures. You go on a cruise, you took some pictures, took a lot of pictures, let's be honest. You want to give them to your roommate or your friend who went with you. The easiest way to do it is a give CD. And a give CD will show you how you do it. It's very simple. You find the subject you're looking for. We'll go to our pictures here. We'll go to this group. Say we want to send those pictures out as a group give CD. And we can go up here and say create give CD. This is pretty easy. It says on the bottom down here, you want to add more folders? Nope, I don't want to add more. I just want this one, so I don't need to do anything. I want them all to be original size and volume of the pictures, so she can edit whatever she wants to do to it. And you can put a title of it in there if you want. Put something in there. And you can include a copy of Picasa if you want. And you click the burn button. And that's it. You put a CD in it. It tells you up here it's 68 photographs. And it's one CD or a DVD. You all know the difference between a DVD and a CD. A CD is looks the same thing. You can't tell them really apart too easy when they're laying there, unless it's got writing on it. One says a DVD, one says a CD. CD has got a 474 meg, something like that, range, and is that right? No,
700.
700 meg, and a DVD has 4.7. I knew that 4.7 was. So that's gigabytes on the DVD. So you can have thousands and thousands of pictures on this one. But you have to have whatever you start with. If it says it's 7 CDs, you got to use CDs through the whole process of the 7. You can't intermix DVDs and CDs because that'll drive you crazy when it doesn't work. So all you have to do is, and then if you wanted to make 2 folders, let's say you had your stuff already set up as folders, you could click on more folders. Let's click on that and see what that does. Now, these boxes over here don't have that box. They don't have that box on them normally. You just check. We're already giving them this one originally. Now we could check another folder, these 83 pictures, and we'd have 2 folders in it. And they would be, let's check on that and see what it does. So we'll go up and say, let's include this one with our gift CD. And what did that do? It says 2 folders, 155 files, and it's still 1 CD or 1 DVD. So you put your CD in, you hit the burn button, and it's done. It'll play itself. It'll play the pictures. Now the viewer isn't full screen. It's somewhere 3/4 screen, but it works. They could take the pictures and put them in any program they want. And it's a very simple way of, in those pictures, that file is the current file you have, fixed. If you want to give that picture to somebody else, if you want to take it to the store to make prints, you could use that disk. That file is good. That file is perfect, just like any other JPEG of all your improvements. So, we'll call this one, we'll hit the cancel key over here. And go back to our, see what, yeah, well, that's about it. Yeah, it's question time. So, we'll have John, and anybody got some questions? Got one here? Well, you can talk to me,
Okay. When you make a DVD, do you have to pick a certain one where it's going to be played? Like if I want to play it here in Rendell Hall, what kind of DVD should I use?
Okay. Here, you're going to have to make, if you're going to take a presentation of a slideshow, let's say a group of pictures, you're going to make a slideshow. We didn't talk about that part of it. You would make a movie out of the slideshow. And that movie could be burned to a CD and you bring it in here and it would play. A lot of it would be depending if they had a computer here or they had a DVD player only. That you have to come in and talk to us in the lab and we'll get you set up on it. We made quite a few of them for anniversaries and other things. So anybody else got any questions out there? Okay, we'll call it. We got one question over there.
That first table.
First table, somebody with a mic, get a first table? Where? Yeah. Get the lights.
Okay, raise your hand. He's looking for you. Raise your hand.
Okay.
Where do you buy that Chromecast you're talking about?
Pardon?
Where can I get that Chromecast?
Walmart.
Huh?
Walmart over there now. You got a back wall.
Is there photos getting to the clouds?
Yes, there is. There is a clone, Picasa has to say, to clouds. We'll talk about that individually because it gets complex, a little more complex.
Can you process something other than a JPEG, like TIFFs or others?
Pretty much anything the camera takes. A lot of the raw formats it'll do, but not all of them. The newest ones, most likely not. The older ones, yeah, that'll be.
Frank, we got a bunch of slides. Can you put them on?
Yeah, bring them in, scan them first, and anything you scan, you can put in Picasa.
Does all this work on Picasa 3.9? Is my old Picasa going to do all this?
Yeah, 3.9 is the only one out, no 4.0. If you see a sign on the internet of something about 4.0, stay away. It's not legit. Anybody else? Okay, well, we got a reminder that the board members meet up here after meeting, and we thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mark?
Thanks a lot. Oh, good for you.
Very good afternoon.